I almost died.
I mean, everybody's different, right? I cry whenever I feel that I need to. I'm not ashamed to cry in public. I'm not speaking of a persona for skateboarding or something, but being on the train, you have a persona. You don't want to get robbed. You don't want somebody to, look at you and be like, what's bothering them? You know what I mean? Like, so there's times where I'm not just going to cry anywhere because you have to protect yourself in life, because have unfortunately experienced some sudden deaths. Let's put it that way. They were. Some of my friends were sudden. My father, not very sudden. He had cancer. And same with my brother. I think if you've lived an amount of time and experienced a certain amount of deaths, a kind of experience can come with that. And again, as I just said to you when I first spoke of it, I definitely had my moments just seeing my mom so ill and in bed where I would just get so choked up, be strong, leave the room, and kind of break down in tears. And then I could go on and talk about this for a very long time, but I knew I had to go back in her room and wanted to, not had to, but wanted to, as her son. I wanted to go back in there and wipe her mouth and give her more water. She's coherent. It was, heartbreaking's kind of a common saying. It was heartbreaking, but also she was 95 years old, and seeing her be in actual pain and trying to minimize it to us. I mean, when I left her, I took a break after 7 days in Connecticut, and I drove to Queens for 2 days, and she was in a lot of pain. And so I had said my own sort of goodbyes, and she said some beautiful things to me that I'll share at another time in a song or in my book or both. Some things you keep for yourself, right? I had seen her in pain, and we were moving her in bed, but I think this may not happen to everyone, but there's a kind of nurse instinct in me, I guess. That's just me. And that kicked in. I thought of people that lost loved ones in COVID behind a plastic partition thing. You think of all these other horrible situations. And again, where someone was just taken from you or was a freak thing. I don't know, man. I don't mean to sit here like preaching about how I process death, but I mean, it's good to talk about it, right? So that's why we're talking about it. And I have, luckily, a lot of cool memories. And my sisters, 2 of them from California, came, and my oldest sister who lives in France, she came, and my mom said her name, acknowledged her, and we all got to say hi and bye to her. And then when my sister left and went back to the airport, my eldest sister Zoe, a day later, my mom passed in the early morning hours. And there was a level of relief for her. And I won't go too far just because it's not overly personal, but it's a lot. I mean, I'm not even gonna. I've cried so much that I can just talk to you about it right now, and I'm not even getting choked up. Yeah, how lucky to have that week and a half. Two days later, I went to do a give back event in New Jersey, in New Brunswick. With Chris Narocco and friends. And I told my friends this story a lot, and my siblings. I said, what am I going to do? I have to go be around these young kids and take selfies and sign boards and be on camera in 95-degree weather. And, how am I going to handle this? So I imagined my mom in a little rowboat, like a dinghy, in Maine, in Rockland, where she grew up, and I imagined her just right on the edge of the harbor, and I just thought of her as being there where she grew up. And so you have to do these little things to help yourself along, is I guess my point. You know, it's like having a pocket stone. I don't have one on me, but it's like I took a little piece of my mom and thought about her and put her in this, up in the cloud, you know? So I don't know. I guess I brought it up because it's a really big thing to lose one of your parents. And how do you cope with it? Well, you talk about it, you laugh, you cry. And if you don't have anyone to talk about, you write about it and you make phone calls to talk about and find other people. You know, there's plenty of bereavement places. You know, I'm lucky to have friends and family. So. Not everybody was raised by their biological parents, obviously. And not everybody gets along with their biological parents, if they even know who they are, right? I did get along with my mother and father, give or take, high school, dyeing my hair pink and all this crazy stuff. So that was a really, really heavy thing, of course. But my mother was 95 years old. And after I got back from 4 weeks in Europe, finishing the documentary and showing the documentary in Copenhagen, I told my husband, I'm going to take 4 days off on Fire Island and walk in the sand after being, you know, traveling Europe and being in all these airplanes. I took all these little flights. And then when I was on Fire Island relaxing and actually getting upright physical activity after holding luggage and all this stuff, you know, I get out and extend my spine, and it's great. My sister told me that our mother went to the hospital for mild pneumonia, and I should probably come up to Connecticut, you know, East Groton's southeastern. So I said, yeah, I'm on Fire Island. I'll see you in 2 days, because I knew my mom was, I say stable in quotations because it's not that she was ever unconscious or anything. And she did not have dementia at age 95. So for those that do love their parents, I would say you check in best you can. Don't feel guilty if you can't. But, you know, my sisters wrote some beautiful things about our mom for her obituary. And I was really lucky that I got to be with her in the last week and a half. So I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it, I guess, because, you know, it was really special. I cried a lot after I would be with her in her bedroom, giving her water, giving her soup. And then I'd go in the living room and have a moment and think of something and cry and then maybe laugh with my siblings. But yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge that.